Welcome back to Cigar Time, your ever so friendly show brought to you every Wednesday night at this time on this channel by us.
Yes.
That sounds like the Sesame Street.
How
Place.
us are we?
We are fine.
We are fine?
Us is fine.
We're getting through the winter somehow?
Somehow.
The Eagles aren't torturing us? Life is good.
Yeah.
Life is good.
You
And,
don't know
uh,
that. You don't know that,
What don't we know?
Eagles.
Well, we're in between here. We're still alive. I mean, as we record
Barely.
this show.
You barely made it.
Hey, we're breathing good, man.
Barely made it
Breathing
last
good.
time.
Breathing good.
Maybe barely, but we did.
We did. Barely.
I couldn't believe it. I just fell off my seat.
You know, there's
Yeah.
a song by ZZ Top. It's, what is it? Jesus left Chicago,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
going to New Orleans.
Every time I think of ZZ Top, I think of Gillette blades.
Like,
Every
they
time
don't
I
use
think
them?
of ZZ Top, I
They
think
don't
of
use them?
RuPaul.
Of who?
RuPaul.
Gillette blades. RuPaul.
Yeah.
You think of ZZ Top and RuPaul on the same?
I don't know
I don't
why.
think so. Damn.
Oh wait, that's the Bee Gees.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are we doing a cigar show today?
I don't know.
What is it that we're doing today? This looks like a pretty decent cigar. Anybody want to mention what
Yeah,
this is?
Scott does because he
Oh,
picked it
Scott
out for
does?
us.
Okay.
This is a Jaime Garcia.
Hi, May.
Oh, Jaime? Is that how you say it?
Garcia.
This is the TAA version. Everybody took their wrapper off. And
I did not.
Oh, you still have
yeah.
the blue on? No.
Rob
That
made us
comes with
take
a
it
blue
off.
footband. Anyway, this is one of the TAA cigars.
Exclusives.
Actually, one of two from my father. The other one is the Flor de las Antillas Lancero.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is a phenomenal
Phenomenal
cigar.
cigar.
But I
right.
think they're all gone.
no, I
still
have
have some
some.
left?
I have some.
Okay.
Horsham has some.
Because the TAA stuff is starting to dwindle down.
Now, does that get replenished or is that gone?
Now, some you can get more, but most you can't.
Okay.
Now, I'll be going to the convention down in Dominican Republic at the end of March.
I saw that on the
and
calendar.
there'll be new models for 2019.
You know, we
Will
never
be-
received the Padron.
They still haven't done them yet.
They did a Padron, but there's another
That's-
Padron.
No,
yeah,
very
this is
exclusive
the
Padron.
50th anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a Padron TAA Toro.
Yeah, which we can get. We can
We need.
still get the TAA. But the really special one, they haven't made it. Or maybe they're aging them, or I don't know. I haven't talked to Jorge, so
Go ahead, Rob.
we'll find out.
No,
You look like you had a comment.
No, I just said this is a torpedo cigar, so I still like cutting it with a V notch. in
You
it.
know, your notch looks like a fish lips.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
It looks like a SpongeBob
It
fish.
yeah.
So, and you're supposed to cut torpedoes on an angle.
Mine's angled.
Why, Scott?
Because it gives it a bigger aperture.
Thank you.
What's aperture?
Hole.
It's something from the Middle Ages.
Opening.
Oh, not the Renaissance?
Not the Renaissance, no.
That's the Butcher of Barcelona.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's from further back. He's caveman.
I just think he's a hillbilly.
So I guess we're the only place you can get this between, I guess Harrisburg and Hazleton is the closest places?
Yeah. I think so.
Hazleton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
somewhere north
way
of the
up there.
Poconos.
That's like in Tamaqua.
Well, it's past there.
Oh.
Yeah, we're the TAA, dealer in this area. Remember,
Yeah.
there's only like 77 of us in the entire country,
Mhm.
and that number does not increase basically. So, it's quite an honor. Again, those of you who remember from last year when we talked about when we first were invited to join the TAA, it's quite an honor for us, and quite an honor to be able to exclusively have these wonderful cigars. That a lot of them are very popularly priced. I think the manufacturers try to put their best foot forward when they manufacture these.
This one, yeah. Some of them,
Some are just line extensions
Yeah.
in different sizes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but a
Or
lot
sort
of
of
them are
Odd
exclusive.
size.
yeah, instead of box press, they leave it round.
Yeah.
Well, from the first puff, this cigar is not for the faint of heart.
No. This is a full
barn
body
burner.
cigar.
Yeah,
This
this is a barn
is a
burner.
kick-ass cigar, man.
Can anybody guess what I'm going to pair with this?
You would have found this mild, knowing
Jack
you.
Daniels. Kahlua.
Black Russian would be nice with this cigar.
Yeah, it would be, actually.
What's in it? Is that just vodka and
Kahlua, yeah.
What's a White Russian?
Cream.
Vodka, Kahlua, and cream.
Oh, okay.
What's a Kahlua and cream?
You just said it.
Kahlua and cream. That's what my
I'm not
mom
stupid.
drinks.
I'm not stupid.
Looks like a
Scott,
milkshake.
Scott, it's called a girly drink.
Hey, my mom drinks
That's-
that.
She a girl?
Actually, I won't drink
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I'll
there
drink
you
the Kahlua,
go.
but the cream coats your palate, and you can't really taste the cigar. Like
You
Well,
don't-
I
you
think
don't
you would taste this
drink.
one.
dairy product. What's that?
You don't drink.
No, I don't. But I
You would
actually
drink that.
have. I've had Kahlua recently because Moose recommended it a couple. I don't know,
A couple of shows
like
ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? And I tried it, and it was fantastic. So I'll have. Like,
You
maybe
just
once a
tried Kahlua?
week. Kahlua and ice.
Oh, Kahlua. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's
Fantastic.
amazing? The right side of the panel, my right, the three of us are not big drinkers.
Not anymore.
No, I know.
I guess we gotta keep
young
us
days.
keep.
But then that's all made up on the left.
Yes,
The
we
two of them
because
more
you
than
guys don't.
offset the three of us.
Yeah, because you guys don't drink. We have to hold up the reputation of this
Yeah.
panel.
Ah,
So-
now I
I've
understand.
drank a couple people's lifetimes of alcohol,
Yeah,
man.
I
Yeah.
did that in my wild begotten
But I
youth.
realized the only reason I was doing it was to get. I don't like the taste, and I was like, I'm only doing it to get
To get drunk.
inebriated, and I'm like, I don't need that crap anymore.
I like the taste.
Ugh.
As much as I drink, I don't drink to get drunk.
Yeah, we drink.
I
'cause
only
we
do it
like
on
the-
special
We drink
occasions.
because we like the taste.
I see. I don't like bitter things. I like sweeter things, which is why I like the Kahlua, and there's a couple other things like Bailey's.
Like
I
last
know,
night,
it's good, but
I
don't like
had-
the taste of bitter things.
I had one of the punch vintage last night with a glass of Merlot, and it went
okay.
really well together.
Really?
Yeah, I usually drink when I'm having a cigar to go,
So all
compliment.
day long is what
I was
you're
going
saying?
to say, since you smoke all the time,
Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry, Art. No, I don't drink on the job.
much.
Much. Like John.
Yes, I don't drink any less, but I don't
Any
drink
less,
anymore.
yeah.
One of the
I
perks
stopped
of the
today.
job.
From the mouths of babes. Well, should we give everybody's first impression?
You don't
Sure.
want mine.
No, I don't. I'm not
No, we
going to
don't.
skip right over you because you're sick. And you're not feeling good either.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, not really.
The rest of them got it. I'm sure the audience got it.
No,
Todd,
I'm
you
going
wanna
to give my
start
honest
out?
opinion.
Yeah, except I think I might sneeze. I just retrohaled.
He's sick too.
This is not a cigar you should retro out.
No, this is not a big retro cigar.
No, it makes you sneeze.
Cinnamon does that to me.
I'm getting a little bit of like a anise or like licorice kind of from it, and I say that as much from the taste as much as I get a little bit of just a touch of numbness on the tip of my tongue, which you get from like anisette or maybe black licorice. I'm also getting some cocoa. It's a very sweet cigar. I'm guessing that's coming from the I don't know if this is technically Maduro or not, but it looks like it was fermented for a while.
Yeah. for
So,
sure.
not
yeah,
a
so
Maduro.
sweet. And you know what I'm not getting, which surprises me, is that blast of pepper that's
Yeah.
the signature from Dom
Yeah.
Pepin.
yeah.
You're not getting any of that?
Actually, you guys were talking about that earlier before we went on the air, and I was expecting that
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
because
rush.
this is the first time I've
Yeah,
had
the
one.
pepper rush, which
And
is what
I-
he's known for.
Didn't get it, and I was
I
like,
got it.
I'm
Really?
not a particularly big pepper person.
I like pepper, but I'm not getting it right now either.
I got it.
I'm getting a very dry taste though. Like
Yeah,
in the back
it's
of my
definitely
throat.
dry.
I'm getting a little bit of at the back of my throat, a little earthiness, a little.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
I also.
Lajero.
What's that?
That's the Lajero in it.
Yeah. But I also get the same thing you're getting, the anisette, flavor.
I do
like-
get.
like-
I also
like
get a little
licorice, so
cocoa
I like the anisette taste.
from it.
Is it cocoa or I guess when I talk
Sweetness.
cocoa and like espresso or coffee, sometimes are very similar to me in a cigar. I mean, obviously.
Not in a cigar.
What? I mean,
It's not a retro hail cigar. It's definitely not a retro
It's not a
hail
retro
cigar.
hail
I'm
cigar.
not doing
wait,
that.
don't believe me?
No, I just wanted to try it.
You want to try it?
He's like your kid
Tell me not
brother.
to
When
stick
you
my
do
finger
it,
in
he's
the
got to
light
do it
socket. I
too.
wanna go.
We will
Well,
give,
Scott already did it.
Now
He's got no
who's
hair
a
left.
Tia?
we will give
You?
Miss
Yeah.
Tia a pass because she's not feeling well.
No, I'm gonna doing it.
Oh, okay.
I get a blast of pepper when I first lit it up. My lips are burning from the wrapper. The wrapper's spicy.
Really?
Yeah, the wrapper's spicy.
That's what I expected, but
But I because I'm very sensitive to that. So maybe I get that more than you guys. You guys do a lot more full body than I do. So I think when you don't smoke, it's like when you drink, if you don't drink a lot and you do, it hits you differently than it does someone that drinks a lot. So I'm not a full body person. So to me, this is definitely full body. I definitely got the blast of pepper, and like I said, to me the wrapper is spicy.
Well, it is full body. no
I find,
question
I
about it.
find lately I'm not smoking as many stronger cigars as I used to.
Me neither.
Well, because you've gotten older.
Oh, you guys are getting old.
I mean, I still do smoke full body, but it's not always the. And sometimes I like following up a stronger, fuller bodied cigar with something lighter. It's somehow I think it sometimes brings out the flavor more.
Yeah.
I tend to find that I don't mind a fuller body if it's later during the day, and during in the morning, no way I would ever.
Yeah, I want that
Not a good
nicotine.
6 a.m. cigar.
No.
I want that nicotine rush when I'm driving in, so I don't, you know.
See,
So you're all set for the day?
You're damn right.
I just go with whatever. Like I'll walk around. I'll first off I'll look in my humidor and I'm like, there's nothing in there. So I'll go into the humidor and I'll be like, whatever my mood, like whatever that I walk around and whatever mood hits me is what I just grab.
Yeah, I think one of the issues is 25 years ago, if you wanted a really kick-ass full-bodied smoke, your choices were very limited.
Yes.
Very limited. I mean, I could think of two right off my.
Hoy to Nicaragua and
Not even Hoy de Nicaragua so
Really?
much. The original St. Louis Ray, the
St. Louis
old
Ray, yeah.
St. Louis
Oh, okay.
Ray, and El Rico Habano.
Oh, Rico.
Ah.
Oh, my God.
Oh wow, you're taking it back.
Yeah. Now, if you want a real full-bodied cigar, you've got dozens and dozens of choices.
Can't throw a dead cat without hitting one.
I don't think they're that strong though.
Actually,
I mean,
I'm finding, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the mix of cigars nowadays between, you know, like light, medium, and full is pretty even across the board.
No, I don't think so at all.
You
What
don't
does
think
he
so?
mean?
I think everything is geared towards medium.
I think,
Yeah.
I
What do
think
you-
medium also.
What are you
Yeah.
guys saying?
Well, because most are middle of the road cigars. And some might be a little on the higher north of medium. Some might be a little south of medium. I actually think there's very, very few mild cigars.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I think what some people consider mild is more other
Yeah.
people's medium.
and I don't see a huge difference between mild and medium either.
Well, okay, I'll
Smoke
show
a
you. I'll show you the
Butera.
difference to me. The difference would be the difference between a Macanudo Cafe,
Yeah.
which is the original
I've
Macanudo
been to
line,
Right.
Macanudo.
and a Romeo Reserva Real.
See,
It's
I
more
would-
That's a
medium.
I
mild
would give that a
plus.
medium.
No,
Okay.
that's a
No, it's
mild
not a
plus.
medium cigar.
That's
But
a mild plus.
I think most people would consider that
Okay,
cigar
mild
a mild plus.
Usually when I'm
Yes.
talking to customers, I say it's a light to medium bodied cigar, depending on your palate.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody who's
Well,
just starting
one of
out,
those two cigars has flavor. The other forgot
Well,
that
yeah.
ingredient.
yeah.
Because there are actually
the
fewer
Laro.
and fewer mild Connecticut shade cigars.
But at the same time, I'll say
Well-
there's fewer and fewer really. I don't think there's many fully strong cigars out there. They're very few.
But there's a lot more than there used to be.
Right now, there's only one I can think of.
What's
There
that?
is the Flora Dominicana Digger.
Well, I was going to say the
Well,
Hoy
the
de
DL,
Monterey.
the DL series.
Not the
the
Hoy
dou-
de Monterey. The
The
Hoy de
double
Nicaragua.
Lajero series.
Yeah.
The Antonio.
Antonio's,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I've had all
Yeah,
those,
the
and
Antonio's are full body.
because the Digger's
but
a long
VSGs are
cigar, I
full
like
body.
smoking it. So
mean,
I smoked it a
25
couple
years ago,
times.
you
When
had
I get
very
towards the end,
limited
man, it's like,
choices.
Yes.
whoa.
Very good.
It's
Punch
almost like
It hits
Diablo.
me.
it's almost like the Three Bears type of thing. The medium, the one in the middle is always the
Yeah.
where people are going to go.
Yeah.
It appeals to the most wide
Yeah,
range
medium
of people.
for sure. What most people, if smoked and offered their opinion rather, would say medium.
Medium.
Medium seems to be
Right.
because it's medium.
And right.
It's
And
easy to say medium.
Right.
Most companies have a breadth of mild to what
Yeah, but
we'll
I think
call
what a lot of
fuller
companies
bodied.
call medium, a lot of people would say, excuse me, mild, they would call it medium.
But what I'm saying is there's very few companies who just are like, okay, we're only doing strong, only doing mild. Padron's the only one I could think of that's pretty much all medium.
Yeah.
But they don't classify it as that.
No, they
classify
call it a
as
medium full.
medium full, but
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
not
so
even close.
smooth, I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it is a little full.
That's
fuller
an
body.
anomaly.
To me,
It's
there's
Yeah,
six-
because
anomaly.
it's so
Yeah.
smooth, it takes away from the.
And that's
full
why
bodiness
that's
of
why
the
I
cigar.
choose to say it's either medium to full, or light to medium, because it depends on the guy who's smoking it.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
That's
It's
very
very
true.
subjective.
That is very true.
And like it's, I also say that cigars is like Baskin Robbins. It's 31 flavors. You'll find something you like.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you take a new smoker, somebody who's been smoking for, let's say, less than a year, and to use the Romeo again, you stuck a Romeo Reserva Real in his mouth, and you took a more advanced smoker of anything and stuck it in his mouth, you'd get two different opinions.
But I think
right now, in my opinion, there are a lot of mild medium cigars and a lot of medium full cigars. There's nothing that's really, really mild, and there's nothing that's really, really full.
I would say the
Butera.
but I would say the
yeah.
medium
Few.
to full has got more numbers in it than the medium to lighter.
I would think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's what the public demands.
Yeah.
I mean, these
Well, that's what
companies
people. Yeah, that's
try
what
to
people want.
keep
That's
up-
why they're making
yeah.
them.
Oh, look at 20 years ago, Churchill was the number 2 selling size.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Now it's barely number 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And torpedoes too.
Yeah,
Torpedoes are probably
Yeah.
well,
Least.
if you include Coronas are probably
and Coronas are coming back.
Well,
now.
Coronas are coming back, but they're
Yeah.
coming back as Corona
I'm-
Gordas now.
Well, I don't know, but even a plain old 6x42
Yeah.
or 5.5x42, that size is making a comeback.
I really like that cigar now.
The last time,
Size.
we were talking about it, I decided to try a Corona,
Yeah.
and I tried it in the Habano, the Eduardo Habano
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Corona, and I found I enjoyed that
Smelling it
cigar
weird.
more than I do the 6x60 or the Churchill.
Really?
Yeah,
really.
I don't like that cigar.
I don't like it either.
but
Why?
the Habano itself, or
Oh,
just
that's a
That size.
The Habano, yeah.
well, see,
I
I'm
don't
not, I'm not a
The
big fan
orange
of
label?
Corona.
I don't
think-
like
Yeah.
the
I
orange
smoked
label
a
at all.
I don't like it.
Really? You don't like it at all? It's too
Nope.
It's a
strong?
great cigar.
Yeah, it is a
Great
very good
Now,
cigar.
the
and-
Toro size is one of my favorite cigars in the store.
Yeah.
yeah, but my point is, I don't smoke Coronas
Right, I understand.
hardly ever.
I understand.
That's
And
surprising
we
'cause
talked
you're
about-
you're a real cigar guy. I mean, that's
Well, but you guys were talking about it, so I gave it a shot, and I found I actually enjoyed the taste and
Yeah.
the smoke.
Yeah.
Another,
you just
another
don't like
one,
little things in your mouth.
another one you might like is the Oliva V number 4.
Yeah.
That's
good
a strong
size.
cigar.
That's a
good size.
great cigar. You should try
Everybody
Or
loves.
the-
We can't keep that one in
it.
stock.
I know.
the Florida Tíos Lanceros.
But 25.
That's the strongest out
but
of all the
getting back to
floors.
Tidy, 25 years ago, a 6x60
Didn't
Make-
exist.
really didn't exist.
And if it did, it was.
It was rare, very rare.
Nobody makes true Toros anymore either.
No, not that's
They're
what.
all
Remember we were
6 by
talking about the
instead of
difference
6
They
by
made
between
them
50s,
fatter. They made them fatter.
the ring
6
gauge
by
is much
54.
bigger.
6
yeah.
by 54. Some they're even
60
pushing it
52,
a little bit.
54.
56, 58.
They're actually
Yeah.
making it longer too.
But then they're getting to a Gordo.
Yes.
You get about 56 or 58, and you might, it's just 6x60. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the difference? I mean, you know, and we sell them 7x70s, 8x80s. This
Yeah.
is insane.
Yep.
I don't like smoking anything bigger
You know
than
what
54.
doesn't sell at all?
What?
I mean, it's like dropped off the face of the earth.
What's that?
The A size.
Nobody makes an A
We've never
anymore,
had.
do they?
We've hardly, other than the Digger.
Oh,
I don't
we-
know that we've ever
What's
really
an A
carried
size?
any
9x47.
Well, in the Davidoff, we carried the A size in the coffin.
Digger's not a true
Long
A.
time
two,
back.
oh, it
Long
was in
time.
the
It was a
two.
long time.
I don't even
In
know
the
if they
two-
make
no,
that
the wooden
anymore.
two.
Wooden too.
Yeah,
I
Scott,
don't think they make
Scott,
that
the
anymore.
Digger's not a true A. It's as long as an A, but it's
But it's
fatter.
fatter.
It's
Yeah.
bigger
Yeah.
ring gauge, yeah.
I don't think
I
there's
mean, that
any.
9x47, remember I used to sit in the lounge at a football game, and I
Yeah,
smoked the Monte Cristo
Yep,
A.
yep.
It would last almost the entire game.
Yeah.
How many times you relight it?
You know who has
You
an
have
A?
to light it a few times.
The Opus has an A.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
actually, no. There are A's out there, but
Opus
we've
has
never
an
But
carried
it's
them.
Yeah.
rare. It's
Nobody's,
rare.
not many
It's
people
not.
smoke.
Yeah, it's not a cigar everybody.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there are fewer places indoors where you can smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, cigar store lounges.
Seems like people don't have enough time anymore.
Yeah, it's the timing thing.
Well, if you're sitting to watch a football
Yeah,
game.
that's different.
Then people are. I think people are a little more finicky and like even with a Churchill or a
Yeah.
double Corona,
You-
even if they're inside, they just like with me. I don't. I want to switch it up after.
I was about to
Exactly.
say,
I
I
was
think
just
people
gonna
like
say
to
that.
switch it up, so
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
want something that's going to take so long because they want maybe 2 or
Right,
3
exactly. Smoke two
during
cigars.
a game.
Right, exactly.
than just the one.
Like
I
this-
also think it has to do a little bit with etiquette. I
What
think some
is-
people have trouble keeping a long cigar lit.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
see
yeah,
it.
I do too, and it's just because of the way I smoke.
Yeah, and you can't. You can rarely light a cigar 2 or 3 times and still maintain the taste and the strain. I mean, the more you light it, the more you're watering it down, or distorting it, or getting.
Well, the smoke that's in the end, it's stale.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
if it
exactly.
I guess it depends how long you relight it after it went out.
Well,
Like a half hour. That's
no.
Yeah.
But even within minutes,
It is gross.
it sometimes it's just.
But
It just becomes too charred.
We
It's
keeping you awake, Mike?
your own personal taste, because I have customers who come in and say they buy big cigars, so they'll smoke half of it, cut it, and then the next day go back to it and smoke it again.
Oh,
Oh, that's
And
that's the
I
worst.
can't do that.
No.
That's
No.
Just
When you
I don't
get-
like when
But
they
there
buy
are-
the
there are a
longer
lot of
cigars and
people-
cut them in
and
half.
it's not
get
everybody,
two
but a lot of
Robustos out
people
of
do
Yeah, I
it.
don't like that. Though.
You're right,
I
they
have-
do.
There's a lot of
I
people
don't
who
like
can't wait till the
that.
cigar
Well-
gets down to here because that's when it just hits the sweet. I'm like, ooh, that's when I'm.
Well, that's the
That's
whole
when I'm
theory
ready to
behind the
put it
nub.
out.
It's rare. It's rare.
Well, if I
could
spend that
smoke
much money
and
for a
still
cigar, I'm
maintain the
smoking
taste
the whole
that far
thing.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare.
Because sometimes the oils and the saliva, it just doesn't. Well, let's not
Did you
even
ever
talk
get
about
it?
that.
Actually, did you ever get where you, like, you get a all of a sudden you get a really foul taste, and if you squeeze it, there's like a little bead
Yeah.
of
Juice.
The tar.
it's like
Tar,
tar,
tar.
or nicotine. That's
Gross.
wicked.
That,
Oh.
No, it
with
gets
a
on
bigger,
your
with a
mouth
longer
and
cigar,
everything.
I've been
It's
known to get
gross.
to that point of the cigar and I'd snip it.
Nah.
I do too. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
too.
Just to get a
Then
fresher
you're
taste.
contaminating the cutter. Then
Yeah,
you're
but it's-
contaminating
it's
the
his cutter.
cutter.
That's where they
But
make
it's my
alcohol.
cutter.
And I just used it.
Hey,
See,
well-
so it's
well,
contaminated.
well, I also lick it too. So I mean,
You're supposed to wash your cutter each time you cut a cigar.
Really?
Yes, with
Art.
either sulfuric acid.
Art, I do.
Never using his cutter again.
No one's ever using my
No,
cutter.
don't use sulfuric acid. Just a joke. Just a joke. All right, what else we got?
Well, we.
I'm starting to get dizzy.
He's got seeds.
I got seeds. Yes.
Oh,
Um,
seeds. Marijuana?
As some of you may have
I
noticed,
wish.
no, we don't have somebody in the fields anymore. So we thought a lot of people really like the educational part of the program. So
Wait a minute.
we're gonna-
Slow down, slow down. I think what we should do is run a contest. Whoever guesses closest to the exact amount of seeds.
How many are in there? And who's going to count them?
Well, you
I
need a
thought Scott,
microscope.
wait, I thought Scott knew how many.
You,
is in
you,
there.
you need a
No.
mic. Are you kidding me?
I thought you did.
You know how many? You know how many seeds are in that
But I
little?
thought he knew.
There-
Probably
There's-
100,000 seeds.
Don't say anything.
Oh, you just gave it away.
believe me, nobody's counting them.
Nobody's counting those.
You need a fine tweezers and a microscope.
Yeah, this is there's probably, you think there's 100,000?
I'm going to take a guess. There's not enough in there to make enough leaves for us to smoke.
Probably
Well,
not.
and this little thing, this is enough to probably plant 2 acres.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
about
So-
So
More than
that's a
there's
lot,
about
right?
in 1 gram.
2 fields maybe.
In
not
1 gram,
acres.
and I don't know. I'm assuming it's gram by volume. I mean weight.
Weight.
There's 11,000 seeds.
Yeah.
So this is, I bet you, I don't know about
There's more than
100,000,
that.
but there's about 30, 40,000 seeds in here.
You're good with math.
I'm good with that.
So this is we'll get you a graphic of the actual seeds on a white background, so you can have a better idea of actually how
Are you going to do
small
what
they
you
are.
did a few years ago and actually plant some and try to grow them in a?
Now, Paul
I
tried,
No,
Paul tried
Paul
to do
did
that.
that.
Yeah, and they died. I was thinking about it.
he tried to do it and then forgot about
He
it.
forgot to
I-
water them.
Yeah, I know. So cigar seeds are they're actually smaller than a grain of sand.
Yeah.
I mean, a grain of sand there would be. I don't know,
It reminds me of an
400.
old joke, and I can't say on the air, but
Okay.
it's a
Oh,
really,
okay.
really funny
Tell us
joke.
later.
Really
So
funny
the
joke.
seeds are so small that they, when they plant them, most companies actually will coat them in some sort of like a clay,
Yeah.
and that gives the seed volume for when they plant it. It makes it much easier. And there's a lot of different ways that people do the planting. Some will, well, first off, they start off in a greenhouse or a semillero, and they'll have a big tray of little cups,
Yep.
you know, just like you would in any greenhouse. Some companies actually will use a machine, and we talked about this sometime.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick Perdomo,
2 years
yeah.
with Nick Perdomo. Yes, Altadis does this also. Where they use air pressure to actually plant the seed. There'll be a
It's a-
bed of there'll
Like in
be
the
a
Yeah, General
there'll
does
be
that
like
too.
96.
I
in
saw
this
that when I was
specific
down there.
instance, there's like 96 little seed
It's like,
beds, little
it's like the
cups.
theory of needleless needles. Blasted into the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needle.
So there's
needleless
this
needles.
machine that's got 96 tubes. Each one of them goes to a separate
Mhm.
pod, so to speak, and then they just hit a button and the air pressure shoots it into the seed. Now some will do it,
So do they-
individually. They'll drop a couple seeds in each one. I think,
Do they call the guy who runs the machine pod people?
Pod people.
that I'm not sure.
Stop.
But
Oh,
the other
complicated.
reason they coat them in clay is there are nutrients in that clay. So not only does it give it volume to be able to plant the seed into the soil, there's also nutrients in that, and that helps.
Is
it
that
helps
clay like a
keep it-
paste? Is it softer
It's
material?
it's a
Shit,
no, it's a harder, but
It
when
is
it gets
harder.
wet, it dissolves.
Oh,
away.
okay.
I'm done.
So they plant these and they keep them in a sort of a greenhouse that they call a semillero. And that helps protect them from the elements, and they can control the grow a lot better. In some places they'll to water them, they'll just mist everything, but I've seen in some places they'll have an actual tube that goes to every single one of these little pods.
Pods, yeah.
So they grow. So it takes, once the seedlings, it takes about 60 days, and the seedlings will, once they get to be a few inches tall, that's when they actually take them out and they plant them out in the fields. And that's a very interesting thing when they plant them. And different companies do it different ways. Some will just somebody will have a big bag and they'll just take a stick and they'll put a hole and they'll plant a seed in it. But the more advanced companies, they have this tractor, and on the back of the tractor they have seats that face backwards. And each one of these seats has a little device. It almost looks like a train wheel. And it'll dig a trench, and there's a wheel that goes around that will drop a plant in each one of its time. So it'll drop a plant in each one of these.
And it's spaced according
Why
to
don't,
their.
why don't we
That's
hold
interesting.
for next week the rest of the discussion? Because
Well,
interesting
I
where-
want to take people through over time.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
All
yeah.
the way through, till the time
Because
they
we gotta
Thank
give
you,
our-
Scott the
We gotta give
Scholar.
our final,
Oh yes, we do.
final review.
That's his
Who-
name,
one at a
Scott the
time.
Scholar.
Scott the Scholar, I like that.
There you
We
go.
have Paul in the field and Scott,
Scott
the
the Scholar.
Moose, go ahead, start it out. Put the
Well-
number on.
I give it a 8.5.
Ooh, thought you were going to do a little better than that. I'm surprised.
No, it's a good cigar. It's just, you know me, I like my strong cigars.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
You don't find it strong?
No.
See what I'm saying?
Retrohale.
Yeah.
Why?
Scott?
Retro Hell and do what you two guys did? Oh, no, thank you.
I'm actually getting a very blast of like cream.
Yeah, it's
It
smoothed
still
out.
has
It's smoothed
that-
out quite a bit.
The anise has kind of gone away. I still get the cocoa. It's almost like a latte kind of a flavor. I never got that blast of pepper that I expected, and this is not coming across as, maybe because it's so smooth, as full as I normally think. And this is a solid 9 for me.
Damn it.
Go with a 9.1.
9.1.
Oh,
It is. I'm getting, my nasal passages are really throbbing because of this. 'Cause I'm trying to retrohale it, but it's just not going to work. It is a full-bodied cigar to me. I like it a lot. I think it's really good. I'm definitely going to add it to my collection.
and it was a 9 what?
9.1 because I
Oh
don't want
my
to agree with
Lord.
Scott.
T?
Well, I'm high, so
You're lying.
Good for you.
from the cigar, it's too much.
There's a lot of nicotine in it, that's for sure.
There is a bit of nicotine.
Based on construction and quality, I give it a 9.
There you go.
Well, as for me, it is a full-bodied cigar to me. Clearly to me. I did not retrohale it, seeing how they were victimized by the retrohale. I'm going to give it a 9.25 because I like this cigar.
I like it too.
It addresses everything that a fuller-bodied cigar should give you, and at the price of $9.95, it's a decent bargain.
9.90.
So we thank you for watching. Don't forget our Saturday
Mom.
night show at 8 o'clock. And
Smoke
we'll see you
seed,
next
everybody.
Life's too short.
Ciao for
Stop
now,
sipping.